To say I live paycheck to paycheck is kind of a lie. I live paycheck to like 2 days before my next paycheck. Pastor Darren has explained this, and I really believe it, and I felt it in my heart that I needed to do more. I mean, I could feel it, I was growing. Pastor Darren also said that day, if you can't give 10%, then give what you feel like you can give. He said, if it's 5%, then start at 5% and see what God will do for you. Christmas is coming up, and I thought, man, this is really gonna be rough. But I went ahead and I set it up, and I set it up through my bill pay online. I was like, all right, we're gonna give this a 1 month shot. So I went ahead and I did my tithe for that month. The first thing that blew me away was the fact that I got a letter from Pastor Darren saying, hey, we got your first tithe, thank you so much. And it was actually signed by him. It wasn't just a cookie cutter letter. I did 5% now. I wonder what's gonna happen if I can bump it up a little bit more. And I started looking at my finances like, man, I tell you what, if I jump it up another couple percent, that's really gonna be handcuffing me. And I was like, nope, we're gonna do it. The day before the check was supposed to be sent, I was notified by our payroll department that I'll be receiving a little bit more money in my check that I never even imagined coming. And it covered the bump. And I was like, this is insane. I mean, this is not really happening. I really needed to buy a new car. And I'd hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. Either I couldn't get the financing I wanted, or whatever it was. The second I sent that first check in that next week, I was able to buy a car. I was like, all right, let's see how this really works. I'm all in. I'm all in for 10% here. Let's roll the dice. And I was stunned when I made out that first check and had it ready to go. And again, the payroll department, which I say payroll department, she sits right next to me. She kind of leaned over her cube and she goes, hey, Walt, just so you know, you're gonna be getting X amount more on your paychecks. There's just some differences in the way we're doing this and the way we're doing that, and you're getting a little bump in pay. And it honestly made me start laughing. I just started chuckling. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. And I mean, we're not talking about life-changing amounts of money, but the fact that you can sit down and look at it on paper and say, this is what I was making, this is what I was tithing, now this is what I'm making, and it's making up for all those gaps. I told Pastor Darren, I said, well, now that I've gotten up to the 10% on tithing, I said, now I want to start giving some extra. I said, let's kick the tires and see exactly how far we can take this. It really comes down to you just have to have faith. You have to have faith that in the end, God is going to provide for you. I don't think there's anybody that couldn't come here and not fit in. And that was one of the things that really brought me here and kept me here, was the fact that Pastor Darren on a weekly basis says, we don't care who you are, what you do, how you act, whatever, we're happy you're here. And at the end of every service, when he says, I love you guys, it is a genuine feel of, I really love you guys. I mean, it's that feeling that kept me here, and definitely got me started walking on a God-first life.